My name's Colleen Evans. I am the director of the Student Athlete Success Center and an academic advisor specifically with student athletes. My office is located in the same place all the other advisors are located in Weeks Library. So, but I work with that population.
Super cool. So where are you planning to go with your FLP?
Yeah, we're going to go to Ireland. So if you've ever had, yes, the Green Isle. So if you've ever had the dream of going, this is a great opportunity to go. The class is going to focus on sports history and culture and a little bit of social media and how we can use that during the trip and so forth. So it'll cover majors like mass comm, sport management, exercise science, sports marketing and media, even history, maybe even some anthropology too, because we're talking a lot about culture and history. And the history of sport in Ireland is fascinating. It's very different from the American model. So we do a lot of compare and contrast and visit sports stadiums. We're going to go to Croke Park, which is one of the oldest sports stadiums on the planet Earth.
Oh, really?
And then contrast that, yeah, it's really interesting. And we get a real tour, an insider's tour of that. And then we contrast that with some of the brand new facilities that they have there as well too. So it's really fun to see how those compare to US stadiums, which is very different.
So walk me through a typical day of your FLP. You get up in the morning, having breakfast in the hotel, and then what's next?
Yeah. So we stay in a hostel, which helps us keep our costs low, but it was a former hotel. So it's a very nice hostel, and they offer breakfast in the morning. And then we usually get up and get going first thing about 8 o'clock. We're on the road or doing what we need to do. And we will be busy usually for the day. Sometimes we'll have lunch and dinner planned for that particular day's event. For example, there'll be a couple days where we go to the University of Dublin and have presentations by faculty members at that university from their sport management program and to talk to us a little bit more about the history of sport in Ireland. Other days we'll have other presenters talking to us about the history and culture. We also will take a visit one day to a local sports club where we get hurling lessons. Ooh. That was probably one of the highlights of the trip for our students.
Sounds fantastic. It's like learning a lot, but also hands-on, like really doing sports, right?
Yes, the visit to the local sports club was really fun because our students got to know some Irish students there, and then they ended up meeting up later that evening too. So that was really fun for them to kind of get the local flavor and meet some people that, you know, live there. So it was really fun. They took some dance lessons. They learned some Irish dances as well. So we do the full gamut.
That sounds fantastic. Like credit program, but also cultural program and immersing yourself into the Irish culture.
Yep. And pretty typically we're done usually by dinner time. Sometimes we'll have a dinner planned or an event for the evening, but many of the evenings are free for students to explore, which I think is a really important thing to do when you're learning about a new culture, is getting out there and, you know, going to a local pub and listening to the music and talking to the people that live there and do that on a regular basis. So it's really a fun experience.
That sounds really amazing. What is your advice for students who think about studying abroad?
Yeah, do it. You know, if you don't come to Ireland, go somewhere. And I know the financial part of it sometimes gives students pause, but you will never have another opportunity to travel like this. And it really is, if you thought about going to Ireland for 10 days and spending time on the tours that we take and the food that we eat and the events that we go to, it's really a pretty good deal. And you're not paying any more for the tuition to go on a study abroad class than you are if you were taking a class here in Vermillion. The tuition's the same. It's just the expenses for the trip, but it's really, and Ireland is not only a fascinating sports study, but it's also one of the most I think, economical ways to visit Europe. Going to London and Germany and some of those other places are a little more expensive. So this is a great way to get a flavor of a new country and see the world.
I cannot agree more. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to reach out or stop by. You know where my office is, in Weeks Library, right where the advisors are.
Sounds great. Bye.
Bye.